We are live. How are you? This is some good jams right here. I'm wondering now if the canned music that I use is actually not canned music at all, that it's AI music. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's a good jam, though. It's a throwback to Motown days. I was listening to the Blues Brothers. You remember the Blues Brothers? Do you remember that from the Blues Brothers? Jim Belushi or James Belushi? I get them confused. Yeah, Belushi, Dan Aykroyd back in the day. Their album that they actually released with the movie was a banger. It was awesome. Every song on there is cool. They're all throwback songs. There's nothing original on there. They all go back to way back in soul music and jazz and of course rock and roll. It evolves into rock and roll, rock and or roll. Man, I wish we could play copyrighted music on this channel. It would just be a better place. The world would be better. Hello, my name is Bill Marion, and welcome to A Nose for Life live stream edition. And because you were here tonight, well, you're getting here. You're not here yet because it's Sunday night is a hard sell. Let me just say that for the record. Sunday night is a hard sell. Yeah, it is, because Sunday night, for whatever your routine is, you're gearing up for work the next day. So when you're doing like a Vlogmas live stream Christmas seasonal kind of thing, it's hard. It's difficult because you're like, but Bill, I've got to go to bed and I've only got a few more hours left. I want to watch Landman on Paramount, not sponsored. And I want to go to bed. I want to do my shopping list and, my Christmas list, check in it once and twice. By the way, if you're tuning in tonight, I'm just going to say this for the record. If you're tuning in tonight for the purposes of the thumbnail, listen, here's the thing. We had this amazing guy from Australia on the live stream in the chat, and a buddy of ours brought him in, and he was great. He was hysterical. And so that's why this is in honor of him. We're not technically talking about Christmas in Australia. I mean, forgive me. I mean, we can. If we have the right personnel in tonight, we will talk about Christmas in Australia. The thing about Christmas in Australia, it's kind of hard to dream about a white Christmas in, you know what I mean? You can't sing that song in Australia. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. You wouldn't want to do that. It would just be a big, it'd be a problem. Randolph the red-nosed shark deer. Yeah, because it's a Christmas down under. There he is, Big Gaz in the house. Good day from down under. It's so hot here. The chickens are laying boiled eggs. And he's back, folks. I want you to welcome, once again, Big Frog and Big Gaz, 1953. And that is who you inspired. So I was just telling them about you just a second ago. You actually inspired the theme. I wouldn't say topic. It's more because this is kind of like we just go with it. So but definitely the theme tonight is Christmas in Australia. What is Christmas in Australia all about? You've got to kick off some discussion here, because the thumbnail says that the thumbnail is very, very, Christmas in Australia or down under. I don't know. I make it up as I go. But I wouldn't want to get in trouble for clickbait. I wouldn't want YouTube to ever say, Bill, you're just breaking the rules and your thumbnail says one thing and the video is about something else. So you've got to tell us, what's Christmas like down under? What is it like down there? I'm assuming it's hot. And there's crocodiles and sharks involved, as there should be. I've watched these videos of these guys on their canoes just off the coast, and they're paddling around, and there's these, I guess, great whites. I don't know my sharks. Or I don't know Australia either. I don't know sharks in Australia. But I'm assuming they're like sharks everywhere else. They'll eat you. And they're in these little bitty canoes, and these sharks are huge. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? And the people that love you, if there are people that love you. Because a canoe looks like a bait fish. It looks like bait fish to these sharks. And I would just think, they're made of plastic. I'm just saying. It would terrify me. I'd be like, no, I'm not scared of a lot of things. I'm scared of sharks. I am scared. I mean, I'm talking about baby sharks. Carolyn's not. We were in the ocean down in Cocoa Beach, which is famous for sharks here in the U.S. It's not Australia, but it's famous for sharks. And we saw a sand shark, I guess. I didn't know what kind of shark it was. She says it's a sand shark, but she's no expert, but she is from Florida, so I'll give her that. And it's about, I don't know, 4 foot long and 3 feet long probably. I'm running like a schoolgirl away from it. The kids are running, and not Carolyn. She's like, stop moving. I want to see it. I'm like, that's why she wears the jeans in the family. Our famous song here is 6 White Boomers. Santa's sleigh is drawn by 6 white flying kangaroos. Excellent. That'd make for a bumpy ride. You would want the suspension on the sled to match, you know what I'm saying? Because I can imagine that would be like all kinds of. And the kangaroo, the boomers, they would have to be in sync, or you would just be in for a mess. You would just be in for like a rocky kind of ride. Kangaroos intrigue me because they're powerful in their legs or whatever. And I'm always thinking about Kanga on Winnie the Pooh. And she's all sweet and motherly. And I'm like, they don't look sweet and motherly to me. They actually look terrifying. Listen to me. Sharks are terrifying. Kangaroos are terrifying. But here's the funny thing. I'm not scared of dinosaurs because they're dead. All of them are dead. They're all dead. Or so they tell us. Maybe they're not dead. Maybe they've all gathered in a waiting place on some island somewhere because they know of a pending disaster. But they got the memo wrong, and so it's coming down the road, and they thought it was sooner. Long story. A lot of drama in the dinosaur world. So it's Sunday night. Or maybe in Australia, it's, I guess it would be Monday day. Is that how that works? Or is it the day before? I get turned around on that. Whenever it is in Australia. Good day. Good day to you. I can't do accents. I don't blame you. A bull shark, which swims in the sea and freshwater, 6 feet long, and can take a piece out of you. 4 feet sharks can do the same. I know, right? And this thing, it was swimming right towards us. It probably wasn't really paying attention to us, but maybe it was. And I'm just, Cocoa Beach is famous for sharks like that. I forget how many shark bites per year. Hello, Miss Bryn G. How are you tonight? Hope things are well in South Carolina. The most sharks that I've ever caught fishing. It was pier fishing. It was pier fishing is like catfishing. It's you throw bait out, it can be frozen. It doesn't matter what you throw out. You throw out a hot dog, you're gonna catch something most of the time. And the pier at Myrtle Beach, I guess we probably caught 100 sharks. They were small. They were very small. But you talk about fun. And even the small sharks, they are ferocious. They will try to bite your finger off. They're terrifying. Terrifying. These people that swim with sharks, bless their heart. There's something wrong with them. I'm not sure why they would want to swim. I'm going to get in a cage, and I'm going to swim around. Brent says, it's cold. Going to get colder, 17 degrees. It's about that here or close to it. Carolyn's got the night off tonight, and so she's kind of nursing our oldest daughter who is suffering with a root canal issue going on, and so she's taking the night off. Normally, I'd say, Carolyn, go look that up, but I think the temperature right now is something like 22 degrees or something. I'm not sure, but it's cold here in the southeast part of the country, which is rare. But I think tomorrow it's supposed to be up in the 50s or something. So it's never really cold here. It was up in Virginia. You've heard me say this stuff before. Virginia had cold weather as far as but here in the great gateway to the south, which is Chattanooga, it just doesn't get cold. You'll have nighttime temperatures around 30. I can predict the weather every night without looking at a single satellite. It's going to be below 30, maybe some rain. Maybe a flurry. There's a rare chance of a flurry every now and then, And during the day, it's going to get up between 55 and 60 degrees. That's just our weather. However, we do have a curveball this week. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be 41. Right now, it's 20 degrees. So it's 16 degrees of a low tonight, 16 degrees of a low tomorrow night. But, you're looking at getting up to 60 degrees, back up to 60 degrees by Thursday. So, that's not that bad. It's just not. It's mild. And South Carolina is probably the same thing. Big Gaz says, here under my pergola roof, noon Monday in Queensland. So it's tomorrow. Time traveler. See, we time travel on our channel all the time. And this is an example of it. He is from the future. But yeah, it's noon on Monday in Queensland and 95 degrees. And that's not like one of those Celsius things. That's a Fahrenheit. That's the real deal right there. That's the real deal for us in America, for we in America without the metric system. That's the Fahrenheit. So that's hot. That's very hot. And you can have that. I can't. I think I would melt. I mean, I'm okay in it within the summertime. I can handle it. I mean, I grew up down here in the South, so I'm used to hot weather. Very used to hot weather. As I've gotten older, I've come to really appreciate season. I can visit. I loved visiting Kenya last summer because Kenya is extremely high elevation. When you land, I think you're landing at 6,000 feet of elevation, if I'm not there in Nairobi, if I'm not mistaken. And to go to Lake Nakuru, which is also like 6,000 feet of elevation, you cross this mountain that's like 10 or 12,000 feet. And the temperature there, despite being like just about on top of the equator, is nice. It was cooler there than here in Chattanooga last summer. It was wonderful. You are in summer as well there. That's our weather in the summer as well. Yeah, Bryn, that's exactly right. You're right. So it's summer there. Duh. Every time I think about Australia, I think of the Men at Work song, I come from a land down under. I can't help it. And so, yeah, you're right. You've got summertime going on there. So, of course, is that, Big Gaz, is that the summer weather, or is that the weather like 6 months from now, your winter weather? Inquiring minds want to know now that Bryn has brought up like something that really I should have thought of, but I didn't. So good job, Bryn. Good job. Very good. I've still got to turn this down just a little bit. Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. People celebrate Christmas all over the world. It is the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ, and they celebrate the birth of Christ all over the world. There are still, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 1 billion Christians or something like that. There's 250 million Christians in China. And a lot of people don't realize that. The population there is, of course, very high. And so we talk about how many Christians there are in the U.S., and it's like, technically, there are more Christians in China. And it's kind of interesting to me, but there are Christians all over the world. So Christmas is a very big celebration all over the world. And so, of course, we have fun on this channel in celebrating Vlogmas and eating elves and all the above. But yeah, we never forget that we're celebrating the birth of Emmanuel. God is with us. That's what Christmas is all about. Big Gaz says, Bringy, last summer, we had a couple of days of 110 degrees Fahrenheit. My goodness. And in the winter, it gets to 20 degrees Fahrenheit down south. In the snow country, it gets to, that's cold. I did not know that. I didn't even know you guys had snow country. Seriously, I did not know that. So it's like one of those upside down, you're turning me kind of things. Upside, because you're upside down, but you can still get farther away from the equator and stuff or something. I don't know. Just don't ask me. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? But yeah, elevation plays into it. I used to think it's hard when you look at a globe. It's you think about England and you think about Spain and those places, and you assume that those places are they're kind of on level with like Maine and like New York or Virginia or something like that. But rather they're up above Maine. And what keeps England and Spain, what keeps them warm, it's not just about the longitude, latitude, their position. It's also about air masses moving. And so the Gulf Stream is what keeps Europe nice and cozy. And the farther you go inland in Europe, the more the weather gets a little bit more unstable or whatever. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of just throwing out some truth bombs at you tonight. Bryn, you started the truth bombs. Big Gaz, you started some truth bombs. We're all truth bombing. Probably not a good choice of words. By the way, we wish to express our condolences for the situation going on in Australia right now. There was a news report that came out today. I won't go into it on the live stream because I totally killed the live stream last night because I started talking politics. I oopsied into politics last night and stuff. I'm not going to do that tonight. I promised. I'm going to be a good boy. I never do that on this channel. I never break into my own political persuasion because you don't want to run everybody off. That's not what we do on this channel. Not yet. No, I'm kidding. Bill Marion starting his own political. We've got enough of those. If you think of Alaska closer to the North Pole, Tasmania is even closer to this. I did not know that. I never thought about it. Outstanding. So So Tasmania is not. So Tasmania is like a cooler, much cooler climate then. Okay, now I'm going to have to deep dive into some YouTube videos because my knowledge of Tasmania extends to the devil. And by devil, I mean the Bugs Bunny cartoon, the Tasmanian devil who spins around and around, which I'm assuming is based on reality. Like, I'm assuming there's an animal down there that spins around and around and makes that noise. And then it sounds kind of like Mel Blanc did doing the voice of the Tasmanian devil. Blah, 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 blah. You remember? Anybody else? You know, Bugs Bunny cartoons, Warner Brother cartoons were already out of style by the time I was a kid. We all watched them though, and they were awesome. Our summers here in South Carolina, Brenji says, can and does get to 100. Heat index, oh, absolutely. South Carolina has this kind of hot that stings your soul. It's insane. Like the farm country down there near Myrtle Beach, we talked about the other night, Bren, where all those farms that will not sell, like no matter how many times they pass legislation to finish the interstate there, it's not happening anytime soon. It's supposed to. I mean, I've looked into this 100 times. They're supposed to sell. It's supposed to happen. That's been 25 years. It's supposed to happen. It never does. So you're on a 2-lane road to one of the most popular beach destinations in the U.S. One of the most popular, lots of money. Nobody cares. It's like, yeah, well, you're going to drive this 2-lane road there and you're going to like it. Anyway, that area is sweltering hot. Myrtle Beach isn't. I mean, it's a typical maritime kind of climate, you know, where the ocean will kind of cool things down or whatever. But you know, the wind and rain off the ocean kind of keeps things, yeah, you know. But still, it's the point. You know, Virginia Beach is a lot farther north than, let's say, Myrtle Beach. And Virginia Beach, it is cooler in Virginia Beach, of course, but it's still, they didn't get nearly as much snow as where we lived in Virginia, and it's farther north. It's crazy. Anywho, old money farms. And by old money, we mean old money. There are some old families that live there. And from what I understand, those old families kind of dominate South Carolinian politics too. South Carolina still intrigues me though. It's a neat place. I love visiting South Carolina. It's maybe that's why it feels like you're going back in time. Big Frog is in the house. I'd like to go back to Australia for another visit. So Big Frog, everybody's been to Australia here but me. I mean, I'm kind of getting jealous now. So you've been to Australia. Do you happen to know what Christmas is like in Australia? We want more. We've got the reindeer replacement reindeer, kangaroo for reindeer. We're replacing them in Australia. And so that's what I'm thinking. Tasmania, as in the Tasmanian devil? Yes. Mean little critters. They have to be. I mean, that cartoon's based in reality. It's like a documentary, you know? I mean, rabbits are really smart. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Doc? I was in Australia on the 4th of July. Why is that? I can't remember I have no recollection. Not that I should know, but occasionally people will leave me comments and say something like, yeah, I'm going on, but for some reason I've got a middle block. So if you have left a comment as such, I don't remember it. And I apologize. Not that you have to check in with the channel, but you should. You should check in with us. You know, we said it last night. We're starting a cult. So Brenji says, wabbits? Yeah, wabbits. Wabbits are what they call them in Canada. In Canada, they call rabbits wabbits. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the same reason why they call them effalumps and woozles. I'll reference Winnie the Pooh for that one too. Winnie the Pooh has to be one of the best Disney adaptations ever. Prove me wrong. Go ahead, chat it up. We're so busy in here tonight. We don't have that many in the chat room tonight. I'm kind of, I'm not disappointed. I mean, it is Sunday night. Sunday night is a hard sell. It's hard to get people in the chat room on a Sunday night. It's hard. But I'm still going strong. We're in night 10 of this year's rendition of Vlogmas. I'm bringing Vlogmas back. You know, it's not a thing a lot of people do anymore. It was real big there 10 years ago or so, and we did it for a while. It was fun, but I brought it back. It was spur of the moment. I was putting out a members video is what I was doing about 2 weeks ago. I was like, I need to put out a members video because I haven't checked in with members in a while. So I was putting it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to jump in and live stream. Big Gaz says devils are very endangered due to facial tumor disease. Wow, that's serious. That escalated quickly. I had no idea. Due to facial tumor disease. Okay, I've got to ask, how did that happen? I mean, okay, I know it's like it's a disease, and I'm sure it's like spreads from something. I'm sure they're going to blame it on global warming or something we're doing wrong. But what's the deal with facial tumor disease? Is smoking? Are they smoking? Smoking will give it to you, man. I know friends of mine with facial tumor diseases. That's sad. Something in the environment. It's got to be, or some type of maybe something that they're not getting out of their diet. Maybe too much aluminum that they're inhaling from chemtrails. Maybe. I'm just throwing. Look, I'm spitballing here. I don't know that they got it from chemtrails. Todd says we're all trying to stay warm here. It's like 10 degrees. Feels like -2. Todd is up there, and Todd is like 2.5 hours south of where I used to live, so it's definitely cold there. It's a contagious cancer. Definitely cigarettes, because the devil is why people smoke. Am I right? I'm kidding. A lot of people I know they still smoke, not like they did when we were kids, though. Am I right? Nobody smokes like they did when we were kids. When we were kids, they would have a cigarette before having a cigarette. It was like, well, I think I'm going to smoke. Well, I'm going to smoke first, and then I'm going to go smoke. You know, that was how it was, but it's not like that now. Todd says, I need Christmas down under, as do I. That'd be nice to get away. Tasmania is starting to sound nice, though. It's a little cooler there, and it's snow country, as Big Gaz was telling us. It's snow country, and so I could handle that. I could handle me some snow country. I could. Of course, you've got New Zealand to the north. Am I getting my geography right in my head? And like the Lord of the Rings, that's where it was filmed. Hobbits and all that stuff. Christmas down under would be nice. I would settle for like Christmas. Like if you're going to get away for Christmas, let's talk about that for a minute. Where would you get away to? Australia is definitely a candidate this year. That would be awesome. The flight would be dreadful. Okay, the flight would be dreadful. It took I think it was 18 hours to get to Kenya. And so I am not in any kind of a hurry to repeat a flight like that, even though I've got another one coming up in May that's going to be that long, I think. And I'm not looking forward to that at all. That's a big deal. So I'm not looking forward to a 16 or 17-hour flight in May. But I wouldn't want that flight. But if we're just talking about getting away, South Caribbean sounds good. Hawaii sounds great. That's another long flight, though. Come on down, and I'll throw a snag on the bar for you. I love it. Hobbits and Rings was filmed in New Zealand. Yeah, I'm telling you, going to New Zealand would be kind of cool just because I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. I like that stuff. So that would be cool to kind of tour around and see what's going on. Where are you going in May? As of right now, and the deposit's been made and the money is being paid. But I'm old enough now, at going just about 52 years old, I'm old enough now to realize things change. So I don't say that I'm going until I've gotten back. You know, not that I care to tell you where I'm going. It's Israel. We've got a trip planned to Israel and Mazel Tov, L'chaim, all that stuff. And so we're going over there to tour for a couple weeks. But it's like, I'll believe it after I get back. It was like that with Kenya, you know. And so, yeah, we're going in May, right at the end of April or something like that. Somebody dropped into the chat right when I said Israel. It was like, click, I'm gone. Israel's so controversial today. Oh, come on, grow up. Grow up. It's okay. Let it go. At 73, I'm happy to get back from the loo. Me too, man. Hey, I'm happy just to get to the loo. Right? I don't fly anywhere anymore, Bryn G says. If the four wheels on my car can't get me there, I'm not going. She says, #fact. Exactly. Well, I understand. And I've got a few more years where Carol and I got a few more years where we can gut it out. The hardest part for me, of course, is the plane trip. And it's not because I used to love flying. It's just now let's say you're just flying to Colorado from here in Tennessee or Virginia or whatever. We flew out to Anna's wedding in Colorado. She lived in Estes Park, which is right there, Rocky Mountain National Park, you know, that area. Flying to Denver, it's like a 2.5-hour drive or 3 from Denver airport to where they lived at the time. And that flight was only, I think, a total 6 hours, but you got to get to the airport 2 hours early, and you got to pick up the rental car, and you know, by the time it's said and done, you've worked like 4 hours of overtime on that one. And so you're just exhausted by the time you get to your location or you get back. So it's getting harder as you get older. The seats, well, look, they say the seats they say our rear ends are what's actually expanding. It's not that the seats are getting more narrow, but I'm not buying it. I mean, I'm buying that our rear ends are getting larger, definitely, especially here in the US. Because, you can measure my rear end by the acreage, okay? But my point is that it's exhausting. And sitting there with other people, just the idea of, and they pack you in literally like sardines, It's just awful. Big Frog says, it's both. It's both. Brent G says, I have medical equipment. CPAP, me too. Same thing. And oxygen concentrator. Ooh, okay, all right. That would not do well or probably be allowed in public transportation. I think they do something with that, though. Like if you had to fly or whatever, they make some kind of arrangements. The CPAP you can carry with you. I have a little carry thing. You can carry it with you. It's no big deal. They open it up, look at it real quick. Sometimes they don't. I've got like a leg full of metal from falling from a tree stand years ago, deer hunting, and fell 18 feet. And yeah, okay, you've heard the story. Most of you have. And I mean, snapped that bad boy in half. My left, what's it called? Tibia, fibula, something. Yeah, one of those bones down there. Snapped it in half. So my leg has an erector set, screws and pins and big long things and all this stuff. But it's great. I still jog. It's all good. Still, I don't even know where I was going with that. I got carried away with thinking about how much metal is in my leg. We were talking about it earlier tonight, in fact. And regardless, you're sitting there in the plane seat and it just starts aching, I sound like an old man. You just sit there and it aches all day. It aches all day. These seats are so narrow and my leg just aches. I don't know what kind of imitation that was. I really don't know. CPAP isn't a big deal. The oxygen concentrator is a big deal. Big size. Goes in the trunk of my car. I guess it probably wouldn't be I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know. I'm not an airport expert. But people take crazy stuff now. They do. It's like they take dogs, cats, it shocks me what goes on a plane now. Kids, they take kids on planes. You believe in that? Like babies, monkeys. I'm just kidding. Got this monkey here from Africa. We're going to take it over in the plane. That's a weird thing. And it's probably, especially here in the West, we have imaginations and exotic places, where there's mystery. We kind of invent stories that are a little, they're out there. Big Frog says emotional support dragons. Emotional support. I've got to take my dragon on the plane. It's my emotional support dragon. It's my emotional support. It's going to sit beside me. It's going to sit right here. It's fine. It's fine. It's really fine. Meanwhile, it's like breathing fire and smoke. And like people are like, that's fine. It's fine. Just buckle him up. Okay. Buckle him up. Sir, you're going to have to tell your dragon to stop breathing fire on the lady's head behind you. It'd be my luck. I would be sitting right in front of the dragon, trying to sleep. And it's just scalding my bald head. My bald head's getting a big scab on it from someone's emotional support dragon. But my head's burning. My head is burning. Not sure why I had to do that in a British accent or my version of one anyway. But I can't. That's what makes flying hard now for me, Bryn, is just the lines. Because again, they herd you like cattle now. It's, man, when I was a kid and flying, it was so different. It was so different. You had the business class up in the front or whatever. They're smoking. Seriously, they were smoking. And I'm not a pro smoker. I'm not pro or anti-smoking. I mean, it's not good for you, right? But I'm just saying it was a different time. And they bring you drinks like the whole time. I mean, I was a kid when I'm talking, the time period I'm talking about, I was a kid. So it's not like they're bringing me cocktails, okay? But they're bringing me like Dr. Pepper, cherry Coke, and they're loving it. They're like, what do you want now? And I'm like, I want a cherry Coke, or I want a Dr. Pepper, whatever it was. And they're bringing you breakfast. It was an hour flight to Detroit from Nashville. It's 54 minutes. And like we had a dinner or a breakfast actually. And like I don't know how many like Cokes or whatever I was drinking. I don't know how many I had. And again, there was like a haze in the joint. It was nuts. It was nuts. It's 2025. We're not allowed to ask questions. No, if it's your emotional support dragon, we're not. Because it's your emotional support dragon. You have to have it. And you shouldn't ask questions like that. They've been through a hard time. They've been through a hard time. That person with that emotional support dragon, they've had to go through counseling. They've had to go through all kinds of things to deal with whatever life has thrown at them. That maybe, you know, their microwave didn't work that one time. And it was really important. They were trying to melt cheese on their chips. And it was an important, they were having to watch The View. And The View was on. And it was a really important episode during an election year. And they had to get the cheese melted on the chips. They were really excited. And because the cheese didn't melt all the way, because the microwave went out, it sent them into this, they didn't know what to do. So they had to go to a psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist was like, you know what you need? You need an emotional support dragon that will help you. It will help you. And ever since, that person's been on disability. And they have an emotional support dragon. I'm just saying. Bren, why do you think I have oxygen concentrator now? It's called COPD. I destroyed my lungs. Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't. Definitely not trying to. I'm not being for or against. Smoked for 40 years. Been off cigarettes since 2015. Well, good for you for quitting when you quit. That's good though. That's outstanding. That's 10 years. That's 10 years of without inhaling dangerous chemicals into your body. We can't be too hard on Generation X or the boomers. Like, I guess you'd be hard on the millennials. Like, what were you thinking? Like, everybody knows smoking's bad for you now. But when I was a kid, we knew it was bad for you. Like, people knew, and you had all these different, drives or whatever. Smoking's bad, like a cigarette, little X through it, and all this public service stuff in schools. Sure. But yet all your aunts and uncles were smoking like 5 packs at a time, And it's just different now than it was, especially if you're from the boomer generation, because the great generation was like, cigarettes are good for you. You need to smoke one. They will help you. That was the great generation. And so the boomers were like, look, the Marlboro man is masculine. Come on, look at him. And so all the guys were like, this is good for you, kid. Come on, It's like a rite of passage learning to smoke a cigarette. But millennials, I'm going to look at them and go, no excuse. Put your vape down. It's not getting as much tar in it if you do a vape. You're putting straight up chemicals into your body without a good taste. Yeah, cold turkey too. Doctor said quit or die. Quitting's good. Good idea. Quitting's good. Well done. Let's give no sarcasm there. That is quite an accomplishment. Anytime somebody quits something that is physiologically and psychologically addicting, outstanding. It is not easy because you've got not just the physiological addiction, the chemical addiction, but you have this overwhelming psychological addiction. I've smoked, but not like a smoker. I'd go through like a 6-month kick and then be like, okay, go through 2 weeks of like, and then it's over. But smokers, man, dude, when you've smoked like 10, 15, 20, 25 years and you quit, dude, you're giving up those moments of solace. Being honest here, you're giving up moments of solace when you're like, okay, I'm going to go outside to have a cigarette, which is really like, I'm tired of you people, and this is my way of getting out. And so when you give up smoking, you're kind of losing a social aspect too. Quitting's hard. Yeah. Again, Santa Claus smokes. He smokes a pipe. Now, just be honest. He does. He's not giving it up. He's not. He's like, at this age, I've earned myself a smoke. He does. He's not going to vape. Look at him. Does he look like a vapor to you guys? He's not going to vape. Of course not. He's not going to chew tobacco. He's going to get all of his beard. It's not going to happen. He's like, no, I'm going to use this corncob pipe that I got down here in South Carolina. That's what I'm going to do. We have corncob pipes here in Tennessee. Nobody smokes them. I've never actually seen like the pretend corncob pipes, but that was a real thing. Quitting is hard, Bryn says, but let me tell you this. You have to have it implanted in your brain that you are, though. And you know what? That's the truth. One of the best websites I've ever seen. I wish I could remember it because it was powerful. It was about don't use Nicorette, don't use antidepressants or whatever they have now to help you quit. It says don't do that. quit cold turkey, that the success rate for cold turkey quitting is astronomically higher than anything else, because you have to make up in your mind, go through the pain, and your body, well, some sources say that the body will remember that and it helps you stay quit. There you go. I'm not a doctor, but, well, I am, but don't tell anybody that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a doctor. But, it's something to think about. If you're going to quit, I think that would probably be the best choice. Call me crazy. They say never do pile on too many things at one time. Never say, I'm going on a diet and quit cigarettes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just the opposite. I'm thinking that you should protect your metabolism probably while you're quitting. And so you would probably want to make some adjustments in your diet while you're quitting. And so that if you're going to be miserable anyway. Have to get ready for an appointment, Christmas. Here is barbecues, beaches, rivers, and camping. That sounds like heaven to me. That sounds like real Christmas right there. Barbecue, beaches, rivers, camping. I'm telling you, just mix a little bit of snow skiing in there. And I'm in. I'm totally in. You need to come to the States during Christmas. Well, I mean, you can always go down to Tasmania for snow. So I was going to say, you come here like to West Virginia and like get away for like the traditional white Christmas. But you could do that there. I mean, so come whenever you like. We'll take you anytime. We will take you anytime. It'd be awesome. Todd says, the Army was fun watching people smoke before the PT test just to open up their lungs. And then as soon as they were done, lighting up and to breathe again. Young people did. Like if you're in your, 18 to whatever, you could do that. As you get older, that would get harder. Hey, good day, and thank you for coming back, Big Gas. Thank you for coming back. Please come back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big Prog says, same for the Navy. I've seen drill sergeants, though. Never saw this in officer candidate school, but going through boot camp and advanced infantry training, I would see drill sergeants put in a dip before he went to AT. I never understood that because I've dipped. And I was like, I would get sick on my stomach. I would throw my guts up. And I considered myself at the time a pretty seasoned dipper, but I couldn't imagine putting the dip in for a PT test. But I guess they're just hardcore. I don't know. It's just, I am not hardcore like that to be able to say, yes, I'm going to put a dip in and go jogging. No. The only video that I've ever had blocked was a video I made about my dad. And it was something like Our Fallen Fathers. And it was talking about Dad's PTSD that he dealt with my entire childhood through my adulthood until a letter went around about Agent Orange and he went to VA. And so Dad's 100% disabled. And I made a video about the way VA pushes drugs on people. And YouTube, because I had humorous aspects about the drug use, a lot, in part because of the music that I used with some of the, I'll just leave it at that. Go back and watch it. If you guys ever want a link, I'll send it to you. I would make the video better now because I was just getting started then, but it was a real honest attempt at trying to chronicle Dad's bout with PTSD, some of the stuff I grew up with, and some unhealthy coping mechanisms that Dad had actually originally picked up in Vietnam, quit for 28, 30 years. But when he got out of the rat race, so to speak, how VA actually fueled some of those symptoms. And talk about addictions. Some of the stuff that they were giving him, most addicting stuff on the planet, and can kill you to come off of. But anyway, I made this video about it, and it was more serious. And to this day, it's like mostly shadow banned, like not shadow, whatever the official term for being shadow banned is, where it's like blocked in some countries and because of humorous drug use overtones or undertone or something. And I'm like, I was almost complimented. Like, really? You think I was making light of that subject? I mean, obviously, and it had a human review. And I'm like, what did a 12-year-old review this? To understand that it's actually a very serious, that it was just segments that were meant to add levity to an otherwise very serious subject. Whatever. I can't help it if I'm Scorsese and they don't get me. I'm an award-winning director. Could have gone to Hollywood with my talent, but no. I stayed here at YouTube just for you all. Just for you 4 people that are in here right now. Because I love you that much. That's why. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I'm not resentful. I'm not bitter. I'm not. I think I had a couple other videos too that were initially, maybe they didn't pick up the canned music. They thought I was using copyrighted music, so I had to like delete it, appeal. I don't remember the process, but it still happens. You got these gutter feeder, third-rate publishing companies that try to claim as many videos as they can and hope from your older part of your catalog. And a lot of times creators will like do what I do. They change canned music providers. And so you may not remember how to access, your canned music from 5, 6, 7 years ago. So it ends up going to the people that have appealed it the people that have claimed it because you didn't go through the right appealing process or whatever, or you can't remember the license information or whatever. Anyway, boring. Yeah, that's behind the scenes stuff that I won't put in my membership videos because it's boring. But that whole conversation is hysterical. If I could use copywritten music, I would. It would be great. Todd says, Dad uses the VA now, and it seems to be a lot better. I think it's better than it was, let's say, in the early 2000s and 90s. Definitely better in the 80s, because in the 80s, it was almost non-existent. It was bad. Then they went through a period from like 96, 95. Now, this part I've been told, I don't know this, but from like 94, 95, for about 6 or 7 years, it was real bad. It's not as far as the coverage. They'd cover you. The problem was they would basically throw the pharmacy at you. And that's not a good thing either. Healthcare is supposed to be like, trying to cure people, not kill them, not put them on a bunch of stuff and make them addicted. Early 2000s, what I saw with my dad was very negative, very negative. I don't want your video to get deleted, so I will keep my opinions on corporate kickbacks. Oh, you don't have listen. You can share anything you want to in on these videos. You're fine. The truth is most of the people that work at your local VA are wonderful people. They have a heart for people. The doctors, the nurses, the people, the volunteers outside, they are wonderful. That's the truth. That is the truth. There is a code, if you will. No, it's actually a code. It's not an if you will. It's actual code that when they're prescribing and whatnot, they're following a list of this is what we do for this. This is what we do for that. And they are a lot more cognizant of issues now than they were. Like if somebody has a proclivity for addiction or whatever, they'll pick up on that better, and they care more, and they've been taught to care more. I'm just saying it's better. I can see a time period coming soon especially with our Afghan vets. Let's see, Afghan vets, Iraqi vets, where it's farmed outside of the VA structure, which should have been done from the beginning, if you think about it. But I know that's got drawbacks too. But I mean, think about this for a minute. We've built these mega structure VA centers all over the U.S. instead of, to provide healthcare to our vets. Why didn't we just give them a healthcare card and just send them to the local I don't understand. Like, why did we government? Like, it's growing the government as opposed to just send them to a doctor, and if the doctor wants VA business, they have a protocol or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Am I getting too serious again? Yes, I am. Is this channel going political? I don't even know what forces are pushing me that direction. The MK Ultra programming that I got in the Army. I'm telling you, I don't know when it happened, but it did. I've got Santa Claus underwater with sharks around him. When did that happen? When did it happen? Me now, tell me when it happened, when the Army, MK Ultra, CIA training, that I have a Santa Claus underwater with sharks swimming around him. How did that get in my head? MK Ultra. Say it and so. Chemtrails, MK Ultra. Welcome Me Now. It's good to see you here. One of our new recruits. Me Now and Me Now. Todd says, it is my plan to use the VA when and if I ever retire. It's my plan to use the VA any way I can. When they were demobbing us out of active duty back into the Guard, it was surreal because we had to fill out all this paperwork, take another physical. Basically, they're trying to outline what was wrong with you before you got out. Try to take care of it and make sure that you're not going to come 20 years from now and saying you had some ailment that you got in the military and try to get benefits. And I'm like, man, that doesn't hold up in court. Like, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I just flew in. Boy, are my arms tired. Boom, boom. I love it. I love it. Sharks are there for the elf meat. Well, VA does provide elf meat, but only if you have a disability that requires elf meat. It's not for everybody. I know that there have been some conspiracies about that, and I'm sure that there's an elf. Like, I learned this with Dad's VFW up in Harrisonburg, that in the VFW there, Veterans of Foreign War, it's like a little club for Veterans of Foreign Wars, that they had their own underground supply chain. That's all I'm going to say. It's like Big Frog. I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to get demonetized or whatever. It doesn't matter. These live streams don't make a dime. But still, they had their own supply chain, their underground railroad, if you will, okay? They're trading, and it's like playing poker. You know what I'm saying? Different colors. You know, put this together. Put this, what I'm trying to say here. And it was hysterical. It was hysterical. So VFW, VA, that whole, you know, whatever the other one is, the Foreign Legion, or what is it? The Legion. I can't remember which one that one is, but there's all kinds of ways, you know, that those old boomers, those old Vietnam veterans, you know, they've learned how to do their thing. And you know, with the internet and everything else, veterans of modern war, you know, they're gonna have that too. I'm gonna say good night now. Good night now. I have a couple of items to take care of before going to sleep. Have a good rest of the night. Bryn, we appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow night, I hope. And have a great day tomorrow. And again, great job quitting smoking 10 years ago. Outstanding. The American Legion. That's right. The American Legion. And then they try to steal people from each other. Like the American Legion will try to steal people from the VFW. It's like, yeah, they have like skirmishes between the two. I learned all kinds of stuff because I was never gravitated towards it. It just never has interested me. And yet, listening to Dad talk about stuff, he was like for a minute, he was the chaplain for the VFW, and hearing all their drama, you know, like the commander would come to the house and like, I would just eavesdrop. They kept trying to get me in. I was like, no. But listening to their drama was it was awesome. It was just so fun. Just, you know, recruiting and getting younger people in and all these real serious. And I was like, this is kind of cool, though. It was giving those guys and gals a purpose. And I love that because, you know, they're in their 70s and they needed a little drama. You know, they needed something during the week to kind of shake things up a little bit. And I know Dad did it. It worked really well until 2020. And anyway, had to pop down at the pub for a Christmas party and had a few too many stouts. Well, ate some Yorkshire pudding, lost track of time. What is Yorkshire pudding? It's like the hobbits in York. How does that, what Yorkshire pudding? Lost track of time. It happens. It happens, Manow. That's how I thought that your name was for the first time I looked at it. I went, Manow. It was like Vietnamese. It's Manow. Manow. Then I thought it was some kind of a cat thing, like me now. It took me a minute to go, me now. This is me now. 24:16. Trying to figure out the 24:16 part. Is it 2024? I don't know. I'm just riffing here. I'm just riffing. I'm never giving up on Vlogmas. We're going to be Vlogmasing till March. I'm going to do a year-long Vlogmas where every night at 9 o'clock, no matter what's going on, rain, sleet, shine, snow, death, I'm going to be here Vlogmas. I'm kidding. There's no way I could do that. It's night 10 of Vlogmas. And I got to be honest, man, I'm getting a little fatigued. There's a little fatigue, but I am not giving up. The goal here is this year to get numbers back up to 20. And I know it's Sunday night, and it's hard on a Sunday night. It's hard because you can only talk about eating elves for so long. And after a while, people are like, what else is on the menu? Come on, Bill. Come on. And I understand that. That's why I've got shark meat up here. Shark meat. And it's boring, right? We've all had shark meat. We've all had Santa Claus before. It's not as, you know, tastes like chicken, like everything else. 2026 on the Hebrew calendar is the year of the vlog. It is. I read that. It's in a commentary back from 1926 and from Rabbi Yetzel. And he put that out. L'chaim. Yeah. Butterscotch and stuff. It's great. I am blessed to be here this evening. It is wonderful. And it's been one of those long days. It's been a restful day, though. I needed some rest. Anybody else need rest? Like, I needed the long winter's nap that they talk about in the poem, and I had one today. One of many I hope to take during the long break here. Butterscotch. It is. That's Hebrew. That's Hebrew. I'm not pronouncing it right. It's like butter. It's something like that. It was funny a while ago. I mentioned going to Israel, and like I've never seen the chat drop so fast. It was like almost backward in time when I said that. I'm like, wow, people, you don't have to be so obvious. Todd says always need a nap. Yeah, dude, it happens at like 40. I don't know, 5, where it's like your body just goes, yeah, you're going to be sleepy past 10 o'clock. You're going to get up at like 5:30 in the morning like you do. And then at 10, you're sleepy. And you're going to be sleepy until you close your eyes. You're going to wake them up, and you're going to be sleepy again. And you're still going to go to bed on time, go to sleep, and wake up and go, boy, I had a long day yesterday. I don't know what happens. There's a movie called Moon. Sam Rockwell stars in it. Great actor. Sam is a great actor. And he was one of the leads in Charlie's Angels, like the reboot, the first reboot, and great actor, and one of the greatest actors of our time, probably. And he doesn't get the press that he probably should get. But the movie Moon is fascinating. You need to check that out sometime. But it actually addresses some of the things about getting older. There's some commentary on the down low in that movie about getting older. Hey, your body just stops. It's just crazy. Once was our I can't read tonight. Strathfield. That's a great screen name, though. That's a great. Not hot in Tasmania. It's overcast. Excellent, man. Welcome, by the way, and I hope you'll come back for a longer live stream. We had some people. We had a great personality who was in here from Australia, and he was giving us some commentary too. And we kind of based this whole live stream tonight on what he added last night. And it was just awesome. Said, I'm from Sydney, and I'm a little angry over recent events. I'm very sorry, by the way, over the what's happened in Australia. I mentioned that earlier in the live stream. I'm very sorry about that, and it's I don't blame you for being upset. I don't blame you for being upset. And oy vey, it's one of those. It's like, when will it end? When will it stop? And I'm very sorry. But hey, you're at the right place. We laugh a lot here. And it's Sunday night, though, here in the U.S. And the problem with Sunday nights, it's hard to get people to the live stream on a Sunday night. And when you're doing Vlogmas and it's like an every night kind of thing, Sunday night is a down night. I think last night, our concurrent viewers were higher last night than they had been. So we did really well. But I knew tonight was going to be a tough sell. I was like, that's okay. We're doing it anyway. We're going all the way to Christmas Eve. Yay! So we're not stopping. We're not giving up. We're not giving up. Yeah, I'm going to Israel in May if everything works out. That's the plan. The deposits are made. Passports are in good shape. Making sure we like our luggage still. Yeah, all that stuff. Packing, getting everything to go back. Like the slow pack. That's what Carol and I do on the big trips. Hard to watch anything now. So busy. Once was our Strathfield says, yeah, I often went to Bandy before moving here to Hobart, Tasmania. It's still a little close to home, seeing a beach I know so well. Be attacked like that. Anyway, I don't want to bring the room down. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to vent, though. And I understand. And especially if it's like right there on your heart and on your mind. It's like, I've got to talk about this somewhere. And here's this short, fat, bald guy with a Santa Claus with sharks surrounding him. So why not here? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. You're more than welcome to. It's a tragic situation. And you ever want to just look at the room? Not our chat room. We got great people here. But you ever just want to look at the world and just go, grow up, stop. Like, will you stop? Like, this is stupid. This is too far. Just quit it. And it just keeps going on. And you're waiting for somebody. You're waiting for the adults in the room to go, okay, we've let this go on long enough. Yeah, I'll stop it. And then everybody like, okay. But it just keeps going. Here, every election, I'm trying not to get political because I killed the room. Talking about killing the room, I killed it last night. Just going political for no reason at all, And you could just tell the people in the chat, it just kept getting lower and lower. And we had a great night. But I just killed it. And not in a good way. Like killed it, like literally. Like stick a fork in it, it's dead. So I'll stop. But still, you know, if we can do anything on this chat room for the next how many ever nights we've got left, I think 15, 14 nights. Oh, Lord, help me. If we can do anything, it's laugh and try to invite people to laugh. And you guys are funnier than I am. Honestly, the most I've laughed was, I guess it was the night before that when we were all talking about eating elves. And it went for an hour of how you could prepare elves. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like fried, sweet and sour elves, how to tenderize them, where to raise them. I mean, it ran the gambit. And it was hysterical. And if we could do anything, it's laugh a little bit. I hope that if anything, would help. Pick a topic and just have fun. Exactly, Todd. Pick a topic and have fun, and that's what the plan is moving, every night is to try to have fun, because these things sometimes all you can do is laugh, because the reality of it is bigger than we can fix in that one moment. We pray, and I'm a Christian. I believe in prayer and the power of prayer. So you pray, but you also you have to kind of walk in the joy that God's given us. And if we're going to sing the song "Joy to the World," then we have to pursue joy. It's hard. Yeah. Let's talk about politics can kill any good situation. Oh, it can. I avoid it. I keep away from politics. I'm not apolitical, but I keep my mouth shut. On this channel, we're a travel channel, nature channel. That's what we do. And I cut videos and stuff. But I went back to something we used to do, which is Vlogmas. We would do like 30 days straight of live streams at night, just try to touch base with new subscribers and stuff. And it was great. Got away from it for a few years. But I thought, I'm going to bring it back this year. I'm getting too old not to enjoy the humor that people have to offer, and stuff. It gives people time to roast me for the music I use in videos and stuff like that. Big Frog says lower teens tonight. It was 20 degrees when I checked earlier here in the chat town of Tennessee. Right now, I'm checking again to see what we got going on as of right now. It's still showing 20 here in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is always a little warm. Nature? Have you ever taken an interest in Australian nature? It's on the bucket list. We make videos typically in the Appalachian Mountains, which is here in the U.S. is from Maine down to Georgia, and also a little bit of Alabama. They like to claim some. So all the way down. So you got West Virginia, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Vermont. Connecticut wants to claim a few. Whatever. We give it to Connecticut. Maryland. Actually, there are some nice mountains in Maryland. South Carolina, there's a slither of South Carolina. And, of course, Western North Carolina, the highest mountains of the Appalachians are in Western North Carolina. I said West Virginia, Vermont. It's the east mountains of the east. Okay, but we make videos around the world. So Australia's on the list. We're getting there. We just haven't got there yet. But we're getting. My mom's been. Mom went and spent a month in Australia. They went to the outback. They went with a group and where they pulled around these trucks and they had tents, and I mean, they did it. Of course, that's been like 20 something years ago, but they had a blast. And so it's on the list. It's there, but we've got so many other things on the list too for world traveling, and Israel was one of them. And so we're going with the group for that. And Ireland's on the list. Austria's on the list. We got we got a big list. I'm still young. So yeah. Big Rock says, I went to the Blue Mountains and I was excellent. That was this past summer, you said, Big Frog? Me Now says, it's 50 degrees in Greenwich, London. I'm not there, but it's 50 degrees. Just in case. Is that in Celsius or Fahrenheit? Help us out. Let us know. You have Bigfoot. That's cool. Well, they say I have big feet. I don't know. I haven't been there for so many years. I thought you said Bigfoot. I'm telling you, I think Me Now is right. I need my glasses on. First of all, I don't have them on tonight. I'm having some serious issues with my eyes, so I apologize. So it says you have Big Frog. That makes more sense considering Big Frog's comment earlier. I haven't been there for many years. I'm wanting to get to Australia. Went about 14 years ago. Australia is on my bucket list, and I am Australian. I've only been to Melbourne, Canberra, Queensland, Sydney, where I grew up, and now Tasmania. From what I understand, from what this other guy that was in the chat room earlier, I think his screen name was Big Gaz. From what he was saying, Tasmania, that's where the snow is. And like the weather's a lot better. It's a lot cooler. That sounds like a better place for me if I'm going to visit. You know, it sounds like I need to go to Tasmania. I don't know if I need to go to the out. Mom hates hot weather. And so she was kind of miserable. She doesn't sweat. So, you know, she was like miserable the whole time. She had some great moments though. And they have the best stories in the world. They have great stories. I love listening to their Australia stories to this day. The kids are sick of them. They're like, tired of grandma talking about all the times in Australia. Like, it's kind of a big moment for them. You know, I mean, so it's definitely on the bucket list. I know that he's not in here tonight, but Randall Boston, Shane, it's my buddy Shane, who's normally in here on our live streams. He's been recently to Italy, and I think he did like a European thing. You know, but Italy was like the focus. That was like the concentration. And they just had a great time. I mean, just all that. I tell everybody, he tells everybody this, and I've said this my whole life, get out of the country several times, or wherever you live, whatever country you're in, try to travel even if you go on the broke. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you go on the broke, meaning you don't have to have a silver spoon, rough it if you have to, but get out of the country so you can get a different perspective of the universe. It doesn't mean you have to change your opinions about things. You can have your opinions, man. Opinions are great, but at least it gives you a different perspective of how other people live. And that it really, man, it pays big dividends as far as just building. If anything else, it'll help you with, I don't know, I think it can help with character and integrity about knowing why you believe or why you feel what you feel about something. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Free little after-school special lesson. Saw the Opera House and I can't read that, and the Something Bridge. And Tasmania is a different deal to mainland Australia. It's a mountain area. Hobart. I hope I'm saying that right. I said Hobart earlier, but I think that was my southern accent kicking in. Is a big European village. I think Big Frog says I would enjoy Tasmania. I think so. I think that's that would be marvelous. Sydney would be cool, just because it's so iconic, right? You know, it's like Sydney. Every time I would go there, I would think of I can't remember the address now. My wife could do it, but it's from Finding Dory. You know what I'm talking about? The address, and they're going to Sydney and blah blah blah. If you've never seen the musical Finding Nemo, I recommend it. It's at Animal Kingdom at Disney World. It's phenomenal. It's great. It's a lot of good stuff. Todd says, from Virginia to West Virginia. Is that considered a different country? Yes, it is. Not where you live. Not where you live. When you cross the line into West Virginia where you live, because I know your area so well, have, you know, that stomping grounds or whatever for a long time, it's not so different. Like, you know, it's normal. But as the northern part of the state, Harrisonburg, we're crossing 33 over in West Virginia. Absolutely. And you can tell the joke that Carol and I tell, we talked about this today, is that when you're crossing 33 Shenandoah Mountain there into West Virginia, the biggest difference that you tell right away is Virginia uses, like that part of Virginia uses a chemical, a salt chemical on the roads to de-ice. But in West Virginia, it's rock salt, and it's like the pellets are like the size of a quarter. And that it's like, welcome to Virginia. You're going to lose your paint right now. It's hilarious. But just little things like that. I highly recommend Hobart. There's a great fishing industry, and the air is fresh. However, I think people were friendly 4 years ago than they are now. Well, that's everywhere. Yeah. For some reason, something has changed. I'm telling you, the world shifted. I blame MK Ultra and what happened to me with MK Ultra. I'm just saying. I don't know that. You say, Bill, how do you know? Are you really serious about MK Ultra? I don't know. It could happen. I just know that things changed for me at some point where, like you're talking about, like everybody's one thing. Movies looked one way. Am I right? You know, and then all of a sudden they look different. They're dumb now. Movies are stupid. People are hateful all the time. No matter where you go, they're hateful. It's MK Ultra. I'm brainwashed. That's what it is. Nothing's changed. It's me, right? Right. And so you may have been MK Ultra too. I don't know. Me now says, okay, guys and gals, I'm out. Just wanted to poop in and have some things to take care of. Me now, I will be here tomorrow night and available tomorrow morning on my 1-800 number. Just kidding. It'd be nice to have a 1-800 number, but I will be available. And so I'll be here tomorrow night. Hobart was an amazing 4 years ago. I had tall, blonde model women driving trucks and delivering groceries to my port. Wow, that's kind of cool. Tall, blonde model women driving trucks, delivering groceries. Wow. That's a different kind of world. That's not the world that we had. You have a different kind of MK Ultra going on. Definitely a different kind of MK Ultra. But speaking of MK Ultra, it is 10:05, which means my time in here is over and the sharks are swimming. And so I now have to go. I want to thank you guys for being here. I love chatting with you all. This has been great. And tomorrow night I will be here again. Welcome. Once was our Strathfield. And I hope you'll join us again, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and chat it up with us. And we will have a blast. And we don't really have we'll have a theme, but we never stick to it. We kind of did tonight, though. It was Australia Christmas, and we kind of did by accident. Like, that was good. So we will see you tomorrow night. Be sure to hit the notify button. Be sure to hit the subscribe. Do the hokey pokey and all that stuff. Give a DNA test. Whatever you do. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.